Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 113. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to continue the arc of the Lovable Losers with a Controltron deck. Now hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down?
A whole lot is going down. We're going to get back on the bike with episode, what is this, 4 or 5 of X in the arc of the Lovable Losers. We're going to tackle 2 archetypes that we don't talk about very often for good reason, but we're going to combine them together in order to make something that's unique that I think a lot of people are going to look at and go, but then when they hear what it's supposed to do and kind of see how the deck plays, I think that they're going to get really excited about it.
Yes. That's, I think, twice this arc where you've said it and I just don't have to say anything.
Excellent.
Okay, moving to the show. Just
let's get to the deck.
No, you call it a Controltron?
Controltron.
You're not even playing Tron.
That's because I'm playing Voltron.
But control.
But with control.
So, what?
Yeah.
Control decks can have a finisher. So your finisher for your control deck is your commander or some other form of assemble and kill in one shot?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like a Voltron deck.
Yes.
But it's a control deck.
Yes.
Controltron.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It just makes it easier than saying all the other stuff that you said. Controltron.
I like that.
We could put that on a shirt.
You know, we were on the way literally going up the stairs to the radio station studio. We were talking about just wanting a sweatshirt or a t-shirt that just says Magic the Gathering on it like they did back in 97.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And now they're all YOLO or Yoink or Power or You Only Live Once or the Black Mana symbol or the Planeswalker. Nothing just says Magic on it.
Or any of the Gruul things or the Planeswalker symbol or that Lotus that they did for the 25th anniversary. Why can't it just say Magic the Gathering on the front or on the back?
Or Controltron. I feel like if it said Controltron, that wouldn't solve the problem that you and I are having.
No. Well, I mean, it might because it'd be branded for us and it would have our logo on the back.
Ooh, yeah. But no mention of Magic the Gathering or what the hell Controltron is so we don't get sued.
Yeah, that.
Because getting sued is actually the worst.
Yeah, I never want to get sued.
No, you ever been sued?
No.
Nah, me neither.
No, I'm trying hard not to get sued. Although, Kyla has her own business now.
She could easily get sued.
Yeah, she could get sued. Or, in this case, she's had a guy that hasn't paid her.
Uh-oh.
So, maybe we have to sue.
Maybe we have to go to his house and rough him up a little bit with a Max Crandel's playmat with a pipe inside of it. We haven't made a Max Crandell joke in months.
I know. And I actually got my very own Puby playmat.
Oh, yeah.
From the boys over at Commander's Brew. So, thank you to Sean and Andy for sending that off to me. And not wanting to keep that sweet playmat.
Hold on. I'm the king of segues.
Ooh.
Speaking of the Commander's Brew, guys.
Oh.
We have a deck giveaway that was built by them.
Whoa!
I'm the best.
That was excellent.
Alessia, who smiles at death or artifacts, as they say on their episode 162, they are still shouting out us because we're giving this deck away. You just go to our YouTube channel where you'll see some new open flippy videos pretty quick.
Yeah, we got prize packs. We got some bad packs, and then I opened them, and then I bought some more bad packs.
Yeah.
Can I tell the story?
Sure.
Can I tell the story? I'm going to find the rare real quick, and then I'll tell the story. Okay, so I saved 4 packs for us to open flippy on YouTube with all of our CCO friends.
And let me just say the Ravnica Allegiance were among the air quotes bad packs.
Yes. And oh my god. And I had 4 left and I was looking at them I hate packs. I hate packs. I hate them. And I don't want them in the house. So I just opened them because I was guaranteed these are the ones that have the good stuff. This is my foil stomping ground. This is my foil everything. This is it.
These are my 4 packs are all going to contain 4 foil skewers.
Yes.
Because that's you haven't got one yet, right?
Not a single one.
In 40 packs?
In 40 packs at least.
Okay.
So continue. I crack all 4 of them. 0 skewers. Still. And I got 3 Font of Agony.
That's the black enchantment. That card's not terrible. Whenever you whenever you pay life, you get blood counters on it. And then you can remove blood counters to destroy creatures.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's awful. The art is incredible, but the card itself is just the shits. and opened 3 of them in 4 packs. What the hell?
Well, maybe if anybody's trying to make a whole set.
Yeah.
Maybe Joel needs them.
Maybe.
Nah, he opened like 7 boxes.
I didn't get any Skewer the Critics out of that either. I bet you he didn't either. He's probably got 1.
He's probably got 1. I can't even give you a set, dude. I only got 1. Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh, man.
Anyways, there's going to be some new open flippy videos. We're going to record them today. And if you go on there, like us, subscribe, leave us a comment, you get yourself entered into the Alessia Who Smiles at Artifacts list that you can see and or hear on Commander's Brew episode 162.
You can also be entered by getting in on punching the like button in the face as a bunch of people hold its arms and escort it out of the ring after it tackles Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yes, that'd be okay.
Yeah, it's a thing. Good on you, Dash.
And last thing, about the Commander's Brew, they launched their Battle of the Brewers. I watched it. It was actually funny.
Yeah, it was very I had a good time watching that. That was pretty cool.
Sweet.
Truth be told, I don't usually like watching gameplay videos because I'd rather be playing Magic, but I did enjoy that quite a bit.
Andy and Sean are funny.
They're funny guys.
And if they don't come to Vegas, they suck.
Good one. Got him.
Yeah, got him. That's the next big thing we're going to, right? Vegas? It's in August?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. That's the next big one. I think we got a local one coming up here in like June or something. That's fine.
That'll be good, too. Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving along.
You want to ram through social media coordinates and we'll do some shout-outs?
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about social media coordinates.
Yeah.
We are CCOPodcast and CCO Brando on Twitter and tappedout.net. That's where you can see this week's list, last week's list, next week's list, and any other list that we talk about throughout the course of the show. We're CommanderCookout@gmail.com. That's where you can send us love mail, hate mail, show suggestions, your decks for the upcoming Arc of Audience version 2.
Oh, baby. We got lists, let me tell you.
That is awesome. But no nudes.
We did get nudes on our Discord. We'll touch on that in a second.
Excellent. You can also find us anywhere your better podcasts are found. That's your Spotify, your iTunes, your Google Play, your Google Machine, Podbean, Podomatic, where we are still trying to achieve the #1 spot on the entire site. We are very close. You can also find us at flipsidegaming.com, where you can use special promo code CCOFU to get 10% off your entire order store-wide. Or, if I went over that too fast, missed something, or said something that you didn't understand, you can find a full written list of all of our social media coordinates at our official home on the entire internet, CommanderCookout.com.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Flipside Gaming. You can order your War of the Spark pre-orders. And we have a set review coming up next week for that.
Yeah, we do. Should we pull back the curtain and tell them that we're going to record it today before the actual spoilers are all done because Easter's effing with our timetable?
Yes. Holidays suck. My whole family lives in a different city, and we record on the weekends, and that is just, it makes it difficult.
So we're going to record the bonus episode today. We're going to be missing, I'm assuming, Ugin. And if the red god from Amonkhet comes back as a zombie, he's not spoiled yet.
Maybe by the time we get there, like in a couple hours from now, maybe it'll all be up.
Yeah, maybe it'll be spoiled. Maybe somebody will leak it and we can get on that. But
yeah, for sure. Anyways,
yeah,
if we miss it and you want to buy it, I mean, Flipside Gaming, promo code CCOFU, help your boys out. That gives us a little bit of a kickback, I guess, so we can keep the lights on? Is that a thing? Yeah. The lights are currently off if you watch the pre-show.
Yeah. Well, we got lots of sunshine, so it's fine.
Yes.
Natural light is the best light.
Yes. Okay, shout-outs.
Shout-outs.
We got some new patrons. We've got Chris Snyder. Snyder. It's Snyder, I think. There's no, like, CH.
Schneider.
I remember saying... Well, on the pre-show, I said something about, like, Schneebly. We had a different Schneider that we called Schneebly because I knew a guy in university that was called Schneebs.
Schneebs.
But this is, like, Schneebly 2.
Schneebly 2 Hyper Schneeb?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Hyper Schneeb.
Hyper Schneeb.
Chris, Hyper Schneeb.
I like it.
Good. Next one. Andrew Fagelli. Sounds Italian, but it's not spelt Italian. I want to make, like, a spaghetti joke.
We could definitely make a spaghetti joke here.
I want to make a spaghetti joke in reference to a part of his body.
Like his hair?
Nope.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it is.
Andrew Spaghetti.
You know what that means.
I got it.
Yeah.
David Grinnis. He used to be a patron, was going through some tough times, but now he's back.
Welcome back. We can go two ways here.
Yes.
If he wants to keep the hard times going, we could call him Grind Ass.
Yes.
Or if he was a little bit, he wasn't as hard on that idea, wanted to be a little softer, we could call him Grim Ass.
I like Grind Ass.
Yeah, Grind Ass is pretty good.
That is actually how I'll remember it.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Final shout out, Devin Carrier. Now, we actually met Devin Carrier in Calgary, and he came over and was like, I recognize F you, Joel. He gave me a sticker. So then we met him and jammed a game, and he played today's Commandy, which we haven't even said yet, have we?
We mentioned it. No, actually.
No.
Let's keep going. F today's Commander. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah. Devin Carrier. We looked up cards with Carrier in their name.
The best one is definitely Carrier Pigeon.
Yeah, there was like Maggot Carrier, Carrier Pigeon, Carrier Thrall, and there's one more. Carrier Pigeon, because he's wearing a little backpack.
There's a little backpack, and it draws a card.
And it's white.
In alliances?
Yep.
What?
Yep. Devin Carrier Pigeon.
Flyers that draw you cards in alliances? Wow.
Alliance had some powerful stuff, man. That's where Force of Will was.
That's true.
Yeah. Those are the only two good cards.
Yeah, Force and Carrier Pigeon.
Oh, and Lake of the Dead.
Nah, Lake of the Dead isn't even that good. It's medium.
Yeah. Send all your Lake of Deads to our podcast address. We'll gladly burn them in a fire for you.
Absolutely. We'll just make a big pile of them. Just have them.
Yeah.
Just save your space.
Yeah, for sure. All of those patrons, big thank you. You're welcome to our new patron-only Discord.
Ooh.
It's popping. It is actually more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be just nothing and be like, oh, this kind of sucks. But yeah, people are in there. They're guiding conversation. They're meeting each other. They're giving each other FUs. They're hanging. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks you all for being there and making this such a success for us.
Yeah, they actually want to come and like be a part of our Discord instead of like whatever shitty Discord they used to be on.
Awesome.
They can probably still be on those ones.
They can be on both. But
F those other ones, come to ours.
Yeah, we're included, and that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned upcoming Arc of Audience.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a preferred deck list channel on our Discord. If you're not part of the Discord or don't have access to the channel or whatever, you can email them in. We do check them all. Just we're not getting back to all of the deck list submissions immediately because there is lots of them.
Yeah, there are tons that are coming in, and we do look at every single one. So if you send it to the Gmail address, commandercookout@gmail.com, just that's cool. We look at every list that comes in. Every list will be considered.
Yeah, for sure. And if you missed that because my zipper touched the microphone, sorry. And sorry for that in editing.
You son of a bitch.
So, deck today, who are we getting to? This has been a long intro, and we haven't even said. Alphabetically, he's first on the list.
He's Arixmathes, the Slumbering Isle.
Oh, man, I love this card.
Now, I didn't know that. I forgot that the guy that we met played Arixmathes.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, I do remember that. But there was another guy that we played. I talked about him last episode where we had that sliver game where I scumbagged everybody with the tooth and nail.
Not the same guy?
Not the same guy.
What?
Different guy. Played Arixmathes, but he was just hosed. He was just totally hosed the whole time. And this is the deck that I had pictured in that pile next to him. Because he said, yeah, it's a hardcore control deck, and like I didn't get enough land to really get it going.
Dang.
And I was like, what could it have been?
What
could it have been?
Let's give him a read.
Okay, Arixmathes, the Slumbering Isle, is a 12/12 Kraken for green-blue 2.
12/12 for 4.
Wow.
This is good already.
Enters the battlefield tapped
Less good.
with 5 slumber counters on it.
Okay.
As long as Arixmathes has a slumber counter on it, it's a land.
This is terrible now. How do we get those off? What do we do?
Cast a spell, that's very important, you may remove a slumber counter from Arixmathes.
I actually had this deck built at one point and didn't know it was a May.
And you have a tap to add green-blue to your mana pool.
So, when you cast him, you cast your land. Lands can use the stack. Yeah! When you cast him for 4, he enters the battlefield tapped, and then you can tap him for 2.
Well, he's tapped, yeah. But
yeah. He comes into play tap, but like the next turn.
Yeah.
So he's like a mana rock.
Essentially, yeah.
That's harder to kill because he's a land.
Right.
And land overwrites all other things. So he, like, once he's on the battlefield, he's not in, like, a creature at all.
That's right. He's just a land.
It's funny that land overwrites things so much that if you copied him with a Phyrexian Metamorph, the Phyrexian Metamorph would also just be a land. It wouldn't even be an artifact until the Phyrexian Metamorph has all the counters removed and becomes a creature. Then it becomes an artifact as well.
Huh.
So your Phyrexian Metamorph is not even an artifact when you copy with this.
Wow.
It's weird that land ability supersedes things so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
crazy.
can't target him with like clone effects unless he's on the stack and he's not a creature yet. Like, he's got some interesting interactions.
He sure does. And I guess that when I actually looked at edhrec.com for this list to kind of try and spicy it up, because I figured there's only going to be so many ways you can build something that's a land. And I went down the list really fast. Sea Monster Tribal is the name of the game with the Rixmathes.
Yeah, and you know what? I have a note here. Spicy, because we're not doing Sea Monster Tribal. We save our Sea Monster Tribal for Zur the Enchanter list.
Yeah, we do.
Welcome to CCO Nation.
There's, I think, 2 other sea creatures in the deck. And one of them is not there because he's a sea creature. He's there because he's a goddamn house.
Both of them that are there are good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah,
I know the 2 that you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
So I used to have this. It was control-y and use Rixmathes as a finisher. I think that's what you're doing as well.
Yes. I'm going for control-y, open up an opening for Rixmathes to go through, and then you just pound in with him and win.
Yes. And the only thing that we're going to have to watch out for in this list in particular when I was looking at it is he's got 12 power. Yeah. So he's a 2-hit chump, 2-pump chump, but you don't have anything to give him double strike or double his power or nothing. So you're going to have to get 2 hits.
Yes.
So you've got some like tap type effects and some counter spells and stuff that are going to help you with that.
That is also correct.
Okay. Should we get into it?
Yes, we should. Okay, as we are wont to do, we're going to start with creatures. We're going to try and lump some of them together because there is some redundancy here. And once we get into specifically the enchantment section, you're going to see why that redundancy exists.
Redundancy is good in Commander, FYI.
Okay, we have Blossom Dryad, Baduka Gardener, Crozian Restorer, Hope Tender, Magus of the Candelabra, Stone Cedar Hierophant.
Oh my god. What do those all do?
They untap your land.
So you tap them or you pay some amount of mana to untap some amount of lands. They untap your land. Your land that is your commander.
Yeah. What? And some of them do have other effects.
Actually, Badoka Gardener puts a land into the battlefield.
Right. Yes, that's
fine. Whatever.
And then if you have enough land, you can turn him over to make X X's, where X is the number of land you control.
Yeah, so those will untap your Rixmathes, but they'll also function as ramp. Let's say you tap your forest, you tap your Blossom Dryad to untap your forest, and then you tap your forest again.
That's right. Or you tap your Rixmathes, you tap your Blossom Dryad to tap your Rixmathes again.
Yes, and then you get 4 mana from a Rixmathes. What about Arbor Elf? I didn't even think of that.
He was on the... He's on the thing.
The stock list on EDH, right? Yeah, balls that
guy. So I tried to keep them to a little bit. Hope Tender, you can untap 1 land, you can untap 2 land. Crozian Restore, you untap a land. If you have Threshold, you untap 3 land. Magus the Candelabra, you tap X and him to untap X land. And what was the last one? Stone Cedar Hierophant is whenever a land comes into play under your control, you untap her, and you can tap her to untap a land.
Oh. Yeah, so you could like landfall... like tap a Rixmathes, untap a Rixmathes.
Exactly.
That's probably fine.
You could play a land, you could like untap a land, play a land, untap her, untap a land, tap the land, play a Rixmathes, untap her, untap a Rixmathes, tap her, play something else. It's awesome.
So you've also got a Seedborn Muse and you've got the Liege from
Eventide.
The Murkfiend Liege. Both of those untap your creatures and I guess all your lands for Seedborn Muse at the end of each turn.
Yeah, Seedborn Muse untaps all your stuff at the beginning of each other player's untap step, and the Murkfiend Liege makes your dudes bigger. Blue creatures bigger, blue creatures bigger, green creatures bigger. Everybody's bigger, and untap all green and or blue creatures you control during each other player's untap step.
Very good.
So get your lands, get your stuff untapped. It's super good.
Okay, now Sea creatures, you got 2 of them. Let's hammer them out right now. And let's do the other big guy in there as well, because that's the alternate win condition, I think. So let's look at the sea creatures and the other big dumb idiot.
Okay, we got Chasm Skulkers, sea creature number 1.
Yeah, 1/1 for 3. Whenever you draw a card, you put a +1 counter on Chasm Skulker. When Chasm Skulker dies, create X 1/1 squid creature tokens with Island Walk, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Chasm Skulker.
That guy's just good.
So you're drawing lots of cards, and you're going to, because you're playing blue-green. He's going to like beat in for 8, 10, 12, 18, however big it is, until somebody's like, okay, I guess we got to kill it. And then you're like, idiot. Like,
Yeah. Get wrecked, scumbag.
yeah, like heaven forbid you pump your whole team with something after you cast that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a beating.
You could overrun or something with that and just win, right? You're not playing overrun, but you easily could.
Sure I am. Give me time, Ryan. It's here.
Okay.
It's here.
The other sea creature.
Other sea creature is my boy, Nezahal, the primal type.
Yeah, he's actually good.
The more I see this creature played, every time I see him on the table, it makes me excited. I like this card a lot.
This card reminds me a lot of course, Atali, because they're both powerful dinosaurs that like the game kind of warps around them. It reminds me of Vivictus Asmodi the Dire. The game just changes around this creature, and it's a 7/7 for 7. Can't be countered. Fine. You have no maximum hand size. Okay, good.
Fine.
Good with some card draw that we're going to look at in a second. And you can, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card.
What?
That's good with your Chasm Skulker.
But wait, there's more.
And another card we're going to talk about. But yeah, wait, there's more. Discard 3 cards, exile Nezahal, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step.
You can dump Jank to protect this guy.
Yeah.
He is hard to kill, and he will beat the crap out of you.
And he comes in at the beginning of the next end step, not your next end step. So like if you do it on somebody else's turn, you dive him down under the water is what you're doing. When he comes in at the end of their end step, he doesn't have summoning sickness on your turn.
So good.
Yeah, this guy's good.
Okay, back to the more Oh, wait, I guess we have one more big dude we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Galta, Primal Hunger.
Yeah. 12/12 for 12, but like green 10. But Galta costs X less to cast, where X is the total power among creatures you control. So if you can like land your Arixmethes, because you're going to want Arixmethes in play, and you just like cast spell, you incidentally make them a creature, and they're like, oh, I guess I'm just going to take 12 next turn. Big deal, right? Like, I'm not going to die. And then you just drop a Galta for 2, and now you're representing 24 damage on the battlefield?
That's going to kill somebody.
That seems good.
It's not bad at all. All right, we'll go back to the more typical thing. We're playing Frilled Mystic and Mystic Snake.
Those are creatures. They enter the battlefield. They counter target spell.
We are playing Krufix, God of Horizons.
Oh, man, this card is so awesome. Krufix favors the long game, and I think Arixmethes, despite being like a 1 or 2 hit chump, favors the long game as well.
Because he has no evasion, he has no trample. You got to get in there for damage on one person 2 times to kill them.
Yes, and they just play nice together. Blue, green, 3, 4, 7, indestructible god. Isn't a creature unless your devotion to green and blue is 7. No max hand size. Great. If unused mana would empty from your mana pool, that mana becomes colorless instead.
That's really good with something like, say, a bunch of creatures that untap your land that become untapped with a Murkfiend Liege every turn, or with something like a Seedborn Muse, where you can come back around and now you've got 22 colorless mana to play with.
Yeah, and you know what? I throughout my notes, I've got things highlighted. Where's the payoff? Where's the payoff? We haven't identified the payoff yet, and I've got some suggestions. Maybe if whatever payoff you had in your mind isn't payoffy enough. Okay.
Now, normally Brando would just play Genesis Wave with that.
Yes.
Not today. There's no Genesis Wave in this deck.
Sure.
Okay, next up we have Manglehorn.
Oh, baby. 2/2 for 3. Enters the battlefield. Destroy target artifact. Already good. You'd already play that.
It's a great creature.
Yeah. Also, artifacts your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped.
Yeah,
that's just good-ass creature.
It's just a good card. How about Pier, the Imaginative Rascal?
Yeah, okay, so he partners with Toothy Imaginary Friend as well. So when you play one, you can search your library for the other, put it into your hand. I didn't count it in your tutor slot.
Nor should you.
Because they only search for each other. Anyways, Toothy, Peer, 1/1 for 3. If a counter would be placed onto a permanent you control, you put one more of that counter.
Now, Shitty is when Aric comes into play, he gets an additional slumber counter.
Is Peer's ability a May?
No. Oh, yeah, no. You get that many +1. So no. So they get a little bit of a non-bow there, but it's really good with Chasm Skulker, and it's really good with a couple other things that are going to come.
Yeah, Chasm Skulker is just kind of like Toothy, and Toothy is a 1/1 for 4, blue 3, partners with Peer, but whenever you draw a card, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, kind of like Chasm Skulker.
Yeah,
exactly like Chasm Skulker.
It's exactly the same.
Okay, so what do we get this time? It's when he leaves the battlefield.
That means back to your hand, anywhere. If he goes away,
oh baby, yeah,
you draw cards for every counter on him. Oh baby! And then if you got a Chasm Skulker out, then your Chasm Skulker gets way bigger.
Whoa!
Good.
You could double the size of your Chasm Skulker by doing that.
That's super good. Incidental interactions. I love that shit.
Yeah, you could represent like 20 or 10 damage with your Chasm Skulker. Then you just go Toothy, and then you go Rishkar's Expertise, draw a ton of cards, and then you make your Chasm Skulker a 20/20, and then you bounce your Toothy, and you make him a 30/30. Die.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the last creature is Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger.
Oh, yeah. This is kind of Staxy like your Manglehorn.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's how you're going to control the board.
Maybe.
If you listen to the pre-show, you would know this already.
Yeah.
He's 8-drop, 7/6 trample, a trampy. Whenever you tap a land for mana, it doubles. No.
You get one extra.
You get one extra, so Vorinclex would give you 3. Sorry.
Aric
would give you 3.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
That's very good.
When he's a land.
Yeah.
When he's a creature, he gives you 2.
Weak, Mr. David.
Yeah, and when your opponent taps a land, it doesn't untap the next turn.
Ha! And that counts even if Vorinclex dies.
Yes.
So if somebody goes big and has like Decree of Annihilation to take out all that shit's tapped down now.
Nobody plays that except for you.
Well, they should. That card's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's the creature suite.
Sweet.
Thank you. Should we move on to some instants?
Instants, or as I like to put a Y at the end of everything, insties.
I like that.
I actually like that one too.
All right, we got Beast Within.
That destroys target permanent, gives that person a beast.
First time I have ever put this card in an EDH deck.
No.
This is the first time I've ever played this card.
No, it's not.
It is.
You're such a bullshitter.
No, it is.
Really?
First time.
What's the card?
Is everybody ready for this? Counterspell.
Counterspell.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
Really?
Yep.
Blue, counter target spell. Get wrecked, newbie.
There it is. Cyclonic Rift.
That bounces a thing or bounces all the things?
Daze.
What in the actual... What is... That doesn't belong in this deck.
When you see the enchantment section, you will see how Daze becomes a much better spell. Because I didn't want to put in Force of Will because it costs too much money.
Yeah, that is a thing. Okay, so Daze is blue 1, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. That sounds like Force Spike. But there's more. You may return an island you control to its owner's hand rather than pay Daze's mana cost. Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you... Oh, dude. Have you ever seen somebody get dazed in Commander?
No.
Oh, my God. It is like... Okay, so when somebody Force Spikes, or worse, Mana Tithes, which is the white Force Spike.
Right.
It's like... Blowout City. Like you tapped out and can't pay the 1
and got destroyed.
Force of Will does the same thing, but Daze?
Ooh.
I'm tapped out but return an island to daze you, and you tapped out to play your finisher. Oh. You have to quit playing Magic. You have to quit Magic forever. You have to go be Gollum in the mountains because you got dazed. Goodbye.
So that wins you the game.
Oh, 100% Daze can win you the game, but
Excellent.
It's so narrow that it's fucking terrible unless it wins you the game.
All right, next up we have Evacuation.
That bounces every creature for 5 mana.
Now here's why I didn't have money left to play Force of Will. I play a Mana Drain.
Whoa. Blue, counter target spell at the beginning of your next main phase. Your next main phase. So if you counter it on your turn in like combat, you get it next main phase.
Yeah.
You get mana equal to that spell's converted mana cost. This is a powerful card.
It's very good.
That card, the power level of this card is too damn high. It's very good.
How about Pact of Negation?
You are just countering everything. 0, counter target spell. Lose the game at your next upkeep unless you pay blue 3.
Ooh,
That's fine.
you can do it.
I reminded Evan the other day when we were playing. I was like, "Do you remember you got to pay that?" He's like, "Thank you." Yeah. Good guy Ryan reminds you to pay Pact.
Yeah. How about Swan Song?
Counter target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Its controller gets a 2/2 bird creature token, and that costs blue. That's a good card.
Yeah. And this one is entirely arbitrary because we're allowed one tutor. I figure let's just play a tutor, and I picked Worldly Tutor.
Yeah, green, search for a creature, put it on top. What do you find? Do you find Gulta? Do you find Chasm Skulker?
You find Galta, you find Nezahal, you find whatever you need.
You probably find Toothy or Pier, and then you find Toothy or Pier.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's okay.
That's good advantage.
How about some sorceries?
Yeah, only 3.
Just 3 sorceries. They're good though, I think.
Yeah, these are good sorceries.
We have Hour of Promise.
Yeah, this is 5 mana Primeval Titan without a body. So it's green 4. Search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library.
That's any land.
Then, if you control 3 or more deserts, create 2 black zombies.
Spoiler, there's no deserts. Wait, no, there is one. There's one desert.
There is one desert. Yeah. You could probably jam like the green one that has the other effect and the green cycling one and the green and blue cycling ones just to maybe get zombies.
Yeah, you could do that. I doubt you'd ever search for those with this. There's some utility lands that get not your Nezahal. Well, it wouldn't make Nezahal get in there too. Your Rixmathes. There's a couple of land that lets you get him in. There's a Rogue's Passage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's a Manamo School at Water's Edge that untaps target legendary, so you can use it to untap your.
Because Erixmathes is still legendary even if he's a land.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's actually good.
So it's cool. We have Rishkar's Expertise.
Yes, aforementioned when I was talking about Chasm Skulker and Toothy. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's 6 mana. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Then you can cast a 5-drop for free.
Is it a picture of a horse or a picture of a tree?
That is a tree horse. That's what I'm calling it. And it has Rishkar riding on its head. Look real close.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Blew your mind? You know what? I just painted that card. I spent like hours looking at it very up close.
Neat. And the last one is Sky Shroud Claim.
Yeah, this is fine. It's 4 mana, search for 2 forests, put them into play.
Doesn't have to be basic forests.
Correct.
Just forests. That's why that one's good. Okay, now let's get into some of the dirt sandwichy stuff and talk some enchantments.
Yeah, let's dude, come on.
Yeah, and some of these are gonna hurt your feelings, and I'm sorry. We're gonna start with asceticism.
This doesn't hurt my feelings. Other than the price, because it's expensive.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I put it in. I was like, oh, shit.
That's fine.
Yeah, man.
That's fine. Whatever. Cut it then. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
5-drop. Creatures you control have hexproof, right?
Yep.
And you can go green 1, regenerate target creature.
It's just a good card.
Yeah, that's actually
good. That's a great card, especially when your deck is focused on keeping a couple of creatures alive so that you can win with them.
Yeah, especially when your deck is like your opponents are holding up removal for when Erixmathes turns into a creature. Then you're like, oh, 2 counters left. I'll go asceticism. You suck. And then I'll transform. Then I'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah, and when you see the next card, you'll see why people are holding up stuff to kill stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, and this is a non-bow with him.
It is.
Give it a read.
Unless you have 6 creatures that untap him. Back to basics.
6 creatures that just untap him. Duh. It's a 3-drop enchantment. Non-basic lands don't untap during their controller's untap phase.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. What if somebody just drops a Blood Moon, and then they just untap all their mountains?
Then they have a bunch of mountains, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, Blood Moon's a beating no matter how you look at it. I have Burgeoning.
Whenever an opponent plays a land, you can play a land. That goes good with Daze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where you're going with that?
Yeah, and I'm playing 40 land in the deck.
Yeah. Well, 39 on Aric Smithies.
Yeah.
40.
Carpet of Flowers.
Carpet of Flowers. You're going all CEDH on me.
Well, when you're building a deck like this, you need mana.
You need mana.
You need mana, so we got to get it.
What's the most important thing in the game?
Mana.
Mana, yeah. Okay, so green, during your main phase. During one of your main phases, right? Like you get to pick?
Yes.
You get X mana of one color equal to the number of islands somebody controls.
Target opponent. It can't be you.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
But usually you're going to get 1-2 out of that. Usually.
Yeah, like every turn.
Yeah, and there's nothing
free.
wrong with that. Yeah, and it's free.
After you spend the mana and play the card.
Yeah, but you're mana positive on your second main phase. You drop it main phase 1, go to combat, come back main phase 2. It's already given you your mana back, maybe more if you've gone second and the blue player went first.
Yes.
So good. Embargo.
What the hell is this masked chaff? It's 4-drop. It's blue 3. Non-land permanents don't untap during their controller's untap step. Okay, so stuff stays tapped. Everything stays tapped?
Yeah, non-land. So only lands on tap. Everything else stays tapped.
Okay, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That'll stave off. You know, we talk about long game, right? If you just need a couple turns to grow your Toothy and your Chasm Skulker, or because your land's on tap, if you just want to cast like instants and sorceries for a couple turns just to kind of protect yourself and transform your Aric Smithies, that'll do it.
It'll stave off aggro decks for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Somebody will destroy that.
Oh yeah, and you're playing a lot of really good enchantments in this deck, and this one will suck out that enchantment removal every time.
Yeah, because nobody can play the game.
Exactly.
Okay.
People hate. I even hate this card. When I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, should I play this?" And then I thought, "Well, I'm already doing it. Let's just do it."
Yeah, I'm already
there.
I'm already jamming free counter spells.
How about From Beyond?
This is a 4-drop. It gives you an Eldrazi Scion that you can sack for a mana, right? And you can also go green 1, sack From Beyond, search your library for an Eldrazi card. Are you playing any?
No.
Okay, so you're just using it for Scions.
Yep. I would play the other one that costs 3, Awakening Zone.
Yep.
But this one gives you guys with power.
Yeah,
And
fine.
I think the 1 extra
For
mana is
one
worth it
extra
power.
mana. Like, do you get in a couple damage with the Scions as opposed to the Spawns?
Yes.
You probably do, yeah.
I hope so, yeah. Next up, Miri's Guile.
Yeah, this is kind of like Sensei's Divining Top.
It's like, yeah.
It's green. During your upkeep, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order.
I think I'm the one person on the earth that's kind of sad that this got released in foil recently. It's like one of the new Judge foils or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it's like, I have one in my Omnath deck, and I'm working on foiling that, and it's so much money to foil that deck because lands are expensive.
Yeah.
And now there's another goddamn high-end card that it's like, oh.
Do you play Sylvan Library?
Yes.
In Omnath.
Yes.
I was talking to a guy in Calgary who's playing Miri's Guile, and I was like, do you play Sylvan Library? He said, no. He said, it's too much money. And Miri's Guile's like worth lots of money too.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's better? And then another guy was like, wait, are you serious? One says draw cards, one says put them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Miri's Guile is not as good.
Yeah, Miri's Guile, I think it's maybe just expensive because it's hard to get.
Yes.
And it's got a really cool effect in green.
Yes.
Yeah, so there it is. I might even cut the Miri's Guile just to get something else. But I certainly won't cut it for a Mist of Stagnation.
No, I don't even know what this does. This is from Judgment, so you know it's going to be good. Blue 3. Permanents don't untap during their controller's untap step.
Kaboom!
This is all permanents now?
All of them.
Okay, but wait, there's more.
There's more.
At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps a permanent of each card in his or her graveyard. Permanents
for each card.
So if you're
if your bin's loaded up, this card doesn't do anything. If your bin is empty,
this card does everything.
Then it does everything.
So, like if I got 5 things in my graveyard, I can untap 5 things.
That is correct.
I don't have to target those things to untap them, right? No.
Also correct.
And it's not I untap a thing for each thing I have, like a land for each land in my graveyard.
That's right. You untap a permanent for each card present in your graveyard.
Weird.
It's a weird card.
Yeah.
But I think that this is one of those kind of fair effects that are it gets worse as the game goes on, and it comes in when it's already kind of poopy.
Yeah, it comes in on turn 5. Mind you, if you get like Aric with these turn 2, you could have this on turn 3. And how many cards are in graveyards on turn 3?
Not very many.
And all you have to do is maybe like, I don't know, Miri's Guile, Mystic Remora is the next card. Like all you have to do is hit your land drops and cast 1-drops to tick Aric Smithies down to maybe start beating, because they're just going to have tapped creatures.
That's right.
Like you're going to have to force somebody to untap a creature instead of a land with your Mist of Stagnation so they don't eat 12.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good. All right, and then Mystic Remora. Everybody knows Mystic Remora, right?
Yeah, opponent casts a thing, they pay 4, or you draw a card. It's got cumulative upkeep 1.
So good. Nature's Will.
I had to read this one. So green 2. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, tap all lands that player controls. And untap all lands you control.
Yeah.
What?
So good.
So if getting punched for 12 inches of Aric Smithies wasn't enough, tap all your lands. I'm going to untap all mine.
And by the way, we're playing Rising Waters. Your lands don't untap now.
And we're playing Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora. So if you do manage to like untap a couple lands, are you going to pay 1?
Yeah.
Or 4? I'll just draw 2 cards. Thanks.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, idiot.
And I said we're playing Rising Waters. Lands don't untap during their controller's untap steps. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, you untap a land.
Yeah, you get 1 untap.
Yeah.
What's the next card? This is actually good.
Song of the Dryads?
Because it makes their commander into a land. You're like, okay, 3 mana, tap my land commander, Aric Smithies. Song of the Dryads, make your commander a land commander. A landmander. No. Landmander Tribal.
Oh.
I want to do this. You could just jam this full of copy enchantment effects. And well, there's only a couple of those, but whatever. Landmander Tribal. Everybody's commanders are lands.
And then we got, lastly, Wilderness Reclamation.
Oh, this is another untappy one, right? 4 mana at the beginning of your end step. Untap all lands you control.
So it gets you around all of the land staying tapped business. Plus gives you response for your counter magic as you move along in the game.
Yeah, tap out and then at end of turn untap everything.
Let's do some artifacts.
Sure. How about you lump together the mana rocks, and then we'll get into some of the specifics.
Okay, we got Commander Sphere, Dreamstone Hedron, Simic, Signet, Sol Ring, Thran Dynamo. That is all.
Yeah, and just of note, Commander Sphere and Dreamstone Hedron do let you draw cards, because I think late in the game, here's my notes, mana ramp, rocks, rituals, dorks, whatever you want to call them, there's 25 extra ways to make mana in this deck, other than your 39 lands. That's lots.
There's lots of mana.
So if you've got a surplus, a plethora.
Oh, I like that word.
Yeah, if you were on the upper echelon of mana production, you can just cash in that Dreamstone Hedron for 3 cards.
Very good.
Yeah, and the Commander Sphere, you sack it to draw 1 card. Also good.
Now, what do we do if your opponent has their own Dreamstone Hedron, Ryan?
We kill switch.
You're goddamn right, we kill switch.
Yeah. 2, tap all other artifacts. They don't untap as long as kill switch remains tapped.
But it untaps on your turn, so all of your shit gets untapped.
Yeah.
So dirty.
That is so dirty.
That's Nullrod's shitty baby brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. You know what we're talking about next week is Nullrod Planeswalker in Karn.
Ooh,
straight into vintage, dude.
Neat.
Straight into vintage.
All right, next artifact with Orb of Dreams.
So, this is the start. This is it. This is the start of the stack.
Yeah.
The stacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Newsflash, we're not playing Smokestack.
We're not playing Smokestacks. We're playing a couple of stacks pieces just because it's a land denial control deck. I'm not good at playing control.
Okay.
And so when I build a control deck, I try to build it so that the counter spell decisions that you have to make in a control deck are easier. And the way to make things easier is make it so people can just do less stuff.
That makes sense. If you can do less, you're going to want to only do the most powerful. Now, I know that logic it's a fallacy, because you're going to want to do the most powerful thing all the time anyways, mostly, right? If you have a finite number of counter spells and you're trying to control the whole table and people are doing less stuff, they're going to want to do their more powerful stuff more. So, yeah, things like Orb of Dreams, 3 mana, permanents come into play tapped. Okay.
It just makes the decisions a little bit easier.
Yeah, okay, and it gives you a turn, right? If you can decide, okay, can I transform Arixmethes and kill this guy before that thing untaps and save my counterspell?
Yeah.
Right? Or does, like, if that was player 1, player 2 still has to go, player 3 still has to go, you've got, like, Arixmethes on 1 counter and a counterspell in your hand. Orb of Dreams, player 1's shit enters battlefield tapped, don't counter it, you can kill him next turn as long as you counter player 2 or 3's spell.
Yeah.
You counter that spell, transform Arixmethes, your go, kill player 1. Right? So I think it does make it a little bit easier.
It just makes the lines of play a little bit simpler for somebody like me that doesn't play a lot of control.
Okay. Now, the only thing before maybe we can get into a little bit of the strategy here while we're discussing the cards. If you try to stacks too hard, you're just going to eat it.
Oh, yeah, you're just going to get your shit
It's going to turn into 3-on-1, right? Because
absolutely, immediately.
People like to play Magic. They don't like to not play Magic.
That is correct.
Right? So if you go, I call them, what do I call them? Your orbs and spheres. You just land all your orbs and spheres and then you're just going to get destroyed.
Yeah, then you just get wiped out. So you just kind of, you use them to ease the pain a little bit, and then maybe don't be that guy and play more of them. That's the way I like to play decks like this.
I think you use them in this deck just to slow the game down just a touch. Like if you're running at 1.0 speed, you land a couple orbs or spheres or just one, and you move to like 0.9 speed. You move 90% of how fast you normally play a game of Magic. You're playing it at 90%. And that gives you the extra maybe 1 round of the table to tick down your Arixmethes, eliminate a threat, create an opening, do whatever you need to do, right?
Dude that went first gets the advantage because he gets the access to the most mana on each turn, while Orb of Dreams kind of negates that advantage a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that a lot of the orbs and spheres are going to eliminate the advantage of going first, eliminate the advantage of somebody having more cards than you.
Yeah, and that's what...
That's what the stack strategy does, right? That's what it does.
Should we go over the rest of the orbs and spheres quick?
Sure.
We play a few of them. We play Static Orb.
That is, as long as it's untapped, players can only untap 2 permanents during their untap step.
Yes.
You just untap maybe Arixmethes because he gives you 2 mana, and you untap something else that lets you untap him again.
Exactly.
So you have access to 4 mana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. We have Tangle Wire.
Fading 4. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps only things equal to the fade counters on it?
No, actually, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, you tap an untapped artifact, creature, or land for each fade counter on it.
Okay. So you play it. It's got 4 fade counters. I untap everything. Then I tap 4 things.
That's right.
Then I tap 3 things next turn. 2 things, 1 thing, 0 things. Then it dies.
And if we play Pier, you tap 5 things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's an incremental advantage. Next thing, we got a Trinisphere.
Trini. I like this one in this deck.
Super good in this deck.
We were talking about it on the pre-show. 3-drop. Things that cost less than 3 just cost 3 now.
Yeah, and there's lots of stuff in this deck is 3 and up. So it's making everybody play your game. Our deck is kind of slow. Now everybody's deck is slow.
Yeah, and you know what? If you've got, it makes your counterspell into cancel, which is actively bad.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But you're playing, it makes your mana drain into cancel, but then you're going to get mana back.
Yeah.
Or if you've got, your Winter Orb and access to 4 mana with Arixmethes and an untapper, counterspell for 3 is okay because you're generally going to, blow somebody out because they're trying to do their best thing. And then you're still going to have 1 colored mana left over from Arixmethes to cast your Worldly Tutor or cast your Burgeoning that you drew last turn or something, right? You're gonna have somewhere to put that mana.
Yeah, and the last one, Ryan just alluded to it, Winter Orb.
As long as it's untapped, players can only untap 1 land. Sorry, what was the other one that we were talking about? Not Winter Orb, the other orb.
Static Orb?
Static Orb lets you untap 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, other artifacts that we have. Should we hit on those?
Sure, let's just blow through them.
Yeah, man, they're easy. Sensei's Divining Top.
That lets you spin the top, look at the top 3, you can draw a card. Fine.
Sword of Feast and Famine.
Ooh, this is a good one. It makes your whoever protection from green, protection from black, +2/+2. Untap all your lands when the creature hits, and the defending player discards a card.
Super good. It untaps all your land. That's the key.
I think it's my favorite.
I think it's the best sword.
I think it's my favorite sword.
I think
it's so good.
It is excellent.
It's good in our meta, and it's so god dang excellent.
It's just strong.
Yeah.
And we play 3 Planeswalkers in this deck.
Ooh, do they give us land or untap things?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we play Flare.
Yes.
That's Brando's tongue actually got stuck in between his teeth for Freyalise Llanowar's Fury.
5-drop, 3 loyalty, +2, you get a Llanowar Elf. -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's disenchant. -6, draw cards for each green creature you control.
That's fine.
All of those are good.
All of those abilities are excellent.
One gives you mana and a dude. One disenchants, one draws cards.
And so, I mean, if you're ever locked under one of your own stacks pieces, she can get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like you can reset stuff. You can, if you're trying to make an alliance with somebody at the table to stop somebody from doing something, like, okay, I'm going to get rid of my Orb of Dreams, just don't mess with me.
Yeah, or Brando can't do anything because he's under his own orb. Freyalise. Yeah. Manglehorn does the same thing.
Yeah, balls that. Yeah, it's good. Next up, we have Garrick Wildspeaker.
4-drop, 3 loyalty, +1, untap 2 lands. Oh. Yeah. -1, you get a 3/3 beast. -4. Oh,
overrun.
There's the overrun. +3/+3 and trample to your whole team. So god dang excellent after a Chasm Skulker.
How do they work with Peer? When you activate their abilities, do they get an additional loyalty counter?
It actually puts an extra 1 on, right? Because you're fine, you're paying the cost, but to pay the cost, you put a counter on a permanent you control. So you put an additional counter on a permanent you control.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That is good. Okay, so it's not like Doubling Season where they come into play and then they double the counters then, but when you activate the ability, they just get the number.
I don't think that Peer...
Because Peer is worded slightly differently.
Peer is worded differently. You don't double anything with Peer, you just add an extra 1. Without reading Peer again right off the top of my head, I don't know if your Planeswalker enters with an extra 1, but I know when you put a counter on a Planeswalker you control as part of activating its ability, you actually put an extra 1 on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Planeswalkers, we're also playing Kiora, Master of the Depths.
Now, there's like 85 Kioras. I don't know what any of them do. This is 4 mana, 4 loyalty, +1, untap a land, and what is it? What?
It untaps a land and a creature. So it untaps Arixmethes and a creature that will untap Arixmethes.
Or if Arixmethes is a creature, you just untap him and a land.
Yes.
Okay. -2.
You reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put a creature and or land from among them into your hand, the rest into your bin. -8, you get an emblem that whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight another creature, and you get 3 8/8 octopuses.
Oh. Wow. That seems convenient.
Yeah.
You just kill 3 things with those big octopuses?
Yeah. So she's pretty good.
Okay.
Her +1 is what she's there for. It untaps Arixmethes and a thing to untap Arixmethes.
Yeah, I think you always +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. You've got actually like 6 instances of card draw, and there is some repeatable card draw in the list. So I mean, like, you don't really need her minus ability, do you?
Not really. And other than that, that's the list. That's it, except for some land. The lands that we have in here that I think are of note, that aren't just whatever, we have a Deserted Temple. It untaps target land.
Yeah. I like your Ancient Tomb. That actually gets you Arixmethes on turn 2. That's like Sol Ring 2.
Yep, that's what it's there for. We've got a Rogue's Passage that allows your Arixmethes to be unblockable. We got a Manamo, School at Water's Edge, untaps a legendary permanent. We've got a Yavimaya Hollow, which regenerates a target creature.
Yep.
And we've got a card that we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the show during a different section in Scavenger Grounds. It exiles all cards from all graveyards.
From all deserts.
Yeah. It is a desert that exiles all lands.
Yeah, for
from
sure.
All graveyards.
Okay, well, here's what I got. Here's what I don't think we identified or what we didn't drive home really hard,
'Kay.
is where's the payoff? I know that you're staxing yourself, right? So you're not necessarily going to have a ton of mana, but let's just say you draw like into the mana production side of your deck instead of drawing into the stack side of your deck, and you just have like 25 mana.
Yeah.
Where's it going?
It feels bad. That's what that does.
It does a little bit like
it just feels bad.
Maybe where's the Blue Sun Zenith type effect, or I know you brought up Genesis Wave, right? Where's the Hurricane? Whatever. I mean, put whatever kind of X finisher you want in there for when you do happen to just have 25 mana.
Yeah.
Or your Chasm Skulker dies, where's the Crater Hoof, right? Or you've got a Chasm Skulker, where's the Pathbreaker Ibex that makes all your team get +20/+20.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, those kinds of things. That's fine. Oh, how about this? Where is the what is it? Academy Ruins that gets you an artifact from your graveyard on top of your library? I think it's Academy Ruins.
Ooh, it's in my binder because again, I'm already building a soft stacks deck. And when I build decks like this, especially for the show, I don't want to make the stacks portion of it be too resilient.
I was going to say, where is your Academy Ruins to get your Dreamstone Hedron back every turn to draw 4 cards a turn?
That's pretty good
That's
too.
probably fine. And it's not stacksy. It's just I want to draw 4 cards a turn.
And who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, at the cost of like 12 mana.
Whatever, we have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right?
we've got it.
Untap our commander 6 times.
I'm always very careful when I build decks like this because I don't want people to look at it and say, oh my God, I don't want to hear about this. Like, it's there and it's a thing. It's a necessary evil for how I have to play decks like this. And I'd rather it be a little bit more flimsy, and that way I get away with playing it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, here's the thing. We're already breaking the lovable loser rule, right? Like, he's got more than 100 builds on EDH Rec. I mean, we've got to break some rules.
Did we talk about why he's a lovable loser on this, or was it on the pre-show?
I think it was on the pre-show.
Okay, so the reason that we're counting Aric Smithies as a lovable loser, he does have more than 100 lists, as Ryan said, is this guy represents the card that you thought was great and awesome and fun, so you build it, and then as you tune the deck, you want it to be better, you want it to do more things, and then you end up cutting him for somebody better.
Yeah.
Like Ryan cut his for Edric, Spymaster of Trest.
Yeah, I just wanted to Yeah,
like the deck just tuned into something else, and then you have this commander that just isn't good enough anymore. So you love him because you built him and you had him and you had lots of fun with him. You have fond memories of playing with him, but now he's a big loser because he's not good enough.
Yeah. So get this. This is how it happened, right? And I want to move right into like the potential suggestions I have for the deck. The suggestions are based on my original Aric Smithies, which transformed into Edric. And you'll see why in a second. So Aric Smithies, very powerful, 12. You want to just hit somebody and kill them, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to play Triumph of the Hordes because it automatically just makes them get 12 infect.
Right.
I want to play Berserk. I want to play Soul's Might.
Yep.
That's the double their power one, but you don't have to sacrifice it like Berserk.
I think so, yeah.
I want to play Fire Shrieker and Grappling Hook that give double strike to equipped creature. Okay. Cool. But we got to make him a creature. So how do we do that? Gitaxian Probe. Okay. That just a free instant. Free sorcery that lets you draw a card.
Noxious Revival does the same thing.
Noxious Revival's on my list. It gets you back your Git Probe. So you could go like Git Probe, Noxious Revival, getting back Git Probe, draw a card, Git Probe again, and like all of a sudden your Aric Smithies only has 2 counters on it. Then you go Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm, right? Counter, off. Now you have a creature.
Yeah.
Right? So you could do all of those things. I like Cloud of Fairies, Snap, Peregrine Drake, Turnabout, and Frantic Search. There's 5 cards right there that all untap land you control. So you use Aric Smithies to cast them, and then you untap your Aric Smithies and another land or more each time to net mana, and you go from 5 counters to 0 counters immediately.
Pretty good.
And then you just berserk, then you kill them for 24 commander damage, right? That, however many cards I just rattled off there, including Mana Dorks and things like Concordant Crossroads, is literally just the skeleton of an Edric Spymaster of Trest deck.
Yeah.
So why don't I just play a 3-drop commander, 1 cheaper, that I can attack with and draw cards right on my commander?
Yeah.
right? And that's what made Arixmethes the lovable loser.
Yeah. And then I tried to pick him up and give him some love, and here's a different direction that we could have went with him.
And I'm digging it. I'm digging the untap him. I'm digging the Chasm Skulker and the Toothian Pier. I like all that. It feels very EDH to me, where the way that my build went, like in the CEDH direction, this is like the traditional EDH direction.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, I dig it.
Cool.
I would still run things like Boomerang Unsummon, though, just to get rid of like the one creature they have to block. When Arixmethes is on one counter, you just go like, Boomerang your guy, remove my last counter, hit you for 12.
Eat shit.
I still think that's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. More spot removal could be a thing. Just,
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm on a kick right now for interaction, I guess. I just want to interact. It's powerful. Strengths and weaknesses?
Strengths and weaknesses.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You just RKO your opponent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're on the diving board. They're getting ready to jump. Wham, they're in the pool.
Boom. Yeah. That's awesome. Galta, Pier, Toothy, Chasm Skulker, backup.
Nezahal,
backup. Right? Like, so you've got some pretty big beaters that you could maybe tutor for or draw into as backup.
Arixmethes has a gang, and they are mean.
Yes. Plays long game.
It does. That's what it's for.
Makes a lot of mana, potentially.
Yes.
If it doesn't, it'll lock people out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, both of those are great in the long game.
It'll either put you way ahead or just drag everybody down with you.
Yeah. And then we touched on the interaction and removal that it has, like 11, I'm going to say counter spells are removal just for purposes of this show. There's 11 targeted removals, and then there's like 5 kind of mass removals.
It's okay.
That's lots. Weaknesses. Stacks will get your dink stomped into the dirt if you stacks too hard.
Yes. You got to be real careful playing decks like
Here's
this.
the thing. This is the stacks spectrum. You can stacks a little bit, and it doesn't really do anything other than make you annoying, and then it gets destroyed. You stacks a little bit harder, and it annoys people until you're dead. Then you stacks a little bit harder, and
nobody's having fun.
right?
And that's, I think that's the level that you want it. You can annoy people into attacking you because it's an interactive game still, but I think once everybody's locked out and they're still annoyed and there's nothing they can do about it, I don't like to reach that stage.
Dude, I actually like, you know what I like? Stacks people into attacking you to try and Brando removal you, right? So they tap out all their creatures, then you go like spell,
die.
Take 12.
Yeah.
That's fine, right?
Yeah, that's what the deck does.
They can't kill you for playing stacks if you just commander damage them to death.
Yeah, if you waste them. And it's hard to race something that only has to hit you twice no matter how much life you have.
Yeah, and you triggered me with the word waste. And my weakness is vulnerable to strip and waste land effects.
Yeah.
And that's why the instant speed nature of spells is so important to Arixmethes. Like somebody drops a strip mine and goes, kill your Arixmethes, and you go, okay, kill Arixmethes on the stack. You just go instant. He's a creature.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't die. That's okay. Last weakness. Hard to insta-creech.
Yes,
That's
it doesn't have the insta-creech. Surprise, I'm a 12/12 in this deck. You're really relying on some of your stacks pieces to just hold them there, and then you can just sit with Arixmethes on one counter until everybody's kind of hosed. Then you bring them out, bang, 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 and you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Okay, moving in to your favorite section. What do you got this week for card of the week? Or as you like to say,
card of the week. This week, I actually picked a card that I think really should not only go in more decks than it does, but should go, I don't want to say every deck, but this is a card
you ever listen to CMDR Central, Dana Roach and FU Max Crandell?
This is a card that you could play in every deck you ever build forever.
Most likely.
And it's Scavenger Grounds.
Yeah.
It's a land, taps for 1 colorless, or 2, tap, sack a desert. It is a desert. Exile all cards from all graveyards.
So if it's the only desert, you just sack it.
Yeah, it's the graveyard hate that you need to pack in EDH or in most other formats. It sits there, it does what you want a land to do, and then it has a really cool upside later on in the game when somebody's trying to Balthor combo or
Or whatever.
Yeah,
just
whatever.
reanimate.
Yeah, just get shit out of their graveyard all the time. You know what? F that. Let's put an end to that right now. Oh, your Eldrazi Titan's going to shuffle your library. But no, just get rid of that.
You sounded like an old crotchety mom, hey? Put an end to that.
Yeah, get out of my face with your shit. The one that I played in this deck, it's a foil one. They're $4.50 American or $200 Canadian for a foil one. Or you can go out and get them for $1.50 or
That's
$10
fine.
Canadian.
Yeah.
They're a good card. Pick them up. I highly recommend you have a few of them around in any deck that you're going to go play in the wild. I think that they're worth having in there.
Yes.
You can judge playing them on your own play group, of course, with how much desert graveyard interaction you're going to want. But when you go out in the wild, you're going to run into people who use their graveyard. Scavenger grounds will get them.
Yeah, for sure. Milk list?
Milk list.
Today, we are doing milk list on green-blue. So that is, as per edhrec.com, the most popular cards at each converted mana cost slot from 0 to 16 again today.
Oh, shit.
I wonder what that's going to be.
Oh, God damn it.
Today, for Simic, or as the kids say,
Heart Arrhythmias These.
I don't know what the hell that means.
Heart Arrhythmia. These.
Oh. That's what the deck list is called.
Yeah.
You made it all one word.
I sure did.
I just couldn't. My brain couldn't. Okay. At the 0-drop slot, your favorite card, Everflowing Chalice.
Absolutely not.
Okay. At the 1-drop slot, Sol Ring.
Always.
Yeah, of course. And we always do the other 1-drops. Llanowar Elf.
Nope.
No. Rapid Hybridization.
No.
No. Okay. At the 2-drop slot, Simic Signet.
Yes.
Yes. 3-drop, Cultivate.
No.
No, but you are playing a Beast Within. That's number 3, but we don't count it. Explosive Veg.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why that one got so popular. Skyshard Claim is just better.
Yeah.
I think.
Sure. Okay, let's... Urban Evolution at 5.
Nah.
Prime Speaker Zagana at 6.
Nah.
Avenger of Zendi.
Nope.
Crater Hoof.
Nope.
Not terrible. Artisan of Kozilek at 9.
Nope.
Ulamog?
Nope.
Temporal Trespass at 11. No way. That's a Edric thing.
Not playing it.
12 is Enter the Infinite.
Nope.
13, Emrakul.
Nope.
16, Draco.
No.
1 milk list match?
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, I'm looking at top 3 cards, and we are playing a lot that are in the top 3, but we're not counting them.
Nah, they don't count unless they're the number 1.
Yeah, 1 milk list match. Good on you. That's pretty good.
It's all right.
Okay. Final segment, Spice Calculator.
Spice Calculator.
Statistically, how spicy is this deck? Let's find out.
Okay.
Now, let me just start by saying, if we made the changes that I suggested with like the Ponders, the Preordains, the Git Probes and stuff, blah, 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 if we didn't add any tutors, we just added 5 of maybe the 10 cards I suggested, we'd still have a spice rating of 57. Because the cards I suggested still aren't Sea Monster Tribal, which seems to be like the de facto way to build a deck.
Sure.
Cool. So even if we changed it to be a little bit more instant speed interacty,
Yep.
still 57.
Not too bad.
Not what you did, though.
Not what I did.
Okay, so let's break it down. 240 lists on edhrec.com.
That's not too bad. That puts him
13th among Simics.
So that's just below Casito Orochi Archmage.
Ooh.
Why is that even so high? And Toothy and Pier.
Huh. Okay, fine.
So he's in good company.
Okay.
Well,
Toothy and Pier's good.
Yeah.
They're just new. Okay. Average CMC, 3.14.
It's about where you want to live in a casual game at EDH.
Yep. Tutors, you plan 1 if you don't count Toothy and Pier. Uniqueness rating, cards different than the stock, like homepage on edhrec.com.
Here we go.
44 cards different.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that is like 85% of your cards.
That's how we do it. That's how we do.
You punch it all in, you get a 62 spicy.
Yes!
That is like spicy with honors.
It's spicy to the max.
That's
That's habanero flakes in your cheese.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't make the cheese very hot. I bought some. It was a letdown.
Very excellent. Okay. That's the deck. What do you think? Give us a rundown one more time. I want to say personally thank you to the Discord members and the patrons again, because I actually had a lot of fun with that this week. You guys were my entertainment instead of the other way around. So thank you. And Brando can give us the giveaway rundown one more time and final thoughts of the day.
All right, Alessia Who Smiles at Artifacts deck giveaway. We'll be giving that away at the end of next week's episode.
Is that what it is? We've got one more lovable loser?
There'll be one more lovable loser, and let's give it away during that show. Let's give it away at the end of that show. So you got one more week to interact with us anywhere on social media. Go check out Commander's Brew. Tell them we sent you. Give them a big FU over there, and you'll be entered to win that deck. We'll be sending it out, announcing a winner at next week's show. As for this deck, I tried really hard to build something that was control-y and Voltron-y that I could play and still have it make sense in my mind, and that always kind of goes to stacks, so I apologize to you for that. But I think I did end up making something that was very casual EDH in spite of the stacks nature of it, and was something that would be really fun and interesting to play, and give you a lot of build potential if you wanted to actually create a more control-based control/combo deck out of this and still beat wholesale ass with the 12-12. Still love beating wholesale asses with 12-12s.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I also want to say thank you to all the patrons and all the members of CCO Nation that have spent time interacting with us both since we've gotten back from Calgary, at Calgary, on Discord, on email. All those people, you make doing all of the hard work that we do for this show less work and a lot more fun than I think that a lot of other people have doing this kind of thing. And we will continue doing it on the next episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!